morning. How's everyone doing today?
Thank you.
Yes. That wasn't correct. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Mr. Toastmaster and honored guests.
Let me double check that real quick.
Okay.
It's a black and this one, this one. That's the one. And then that's the black to the next.
Okay, thank you. Today we're going to learn about one of the most underutilized and misunderstood marketing tools available to speakers, a blog. And my objective today is to encourage new and professional speakers to use blogs to market themselves, their products, and their services. But before we go any further, how many of you in the room have blogs? Does anyone blog? Only Cash? Oh. And
Tammy.
Tammy. And what do you blog about, Tammy?
Motivational, inspirational, towards entrepreneurship and presenting yourself on social media.
Okay, and are those some of your speaking topics?
Not so much right now.
Okay, so we need to start working on
Exactly.
putting your speaking topics
Exactly.
on your blog.
Exactly.
What about you, Cash?
It depends. Communication, leadership, and inspiration primarily.
And those are your topics, right?
Those are
Those
the
two
topics.
ones.
Yeah.
And are you finding that people are getting business through your blog?
No. But I am getting exposure through the blog.
Okay.
So no one has booked me from the blog, but I am getting exposure through the blog.
Okay, so those are some of the benefits. One of the benefits of blogging is the exposure, but it's also a marketing tool, so it is working for cash. So our lesson today is, what is a blog? The difference between a blog and a website, why you should own a blog, the pros and cons of blogging, the action plan for moving forward with the blog, as well as the results, or the expected results from blogging. So what is a blog? According to this definition, a blog is a website where a writer or group of writers chronologically express their opinion on the subject. How many people visit blogs? Which blogs do you go
My graph use blog is also on Toastmasters.
to? Okay. Bill visits a blog on speaking. And he talks about just Toastmasters or gives speaking tips?
Both.
Okay. Sharon?
Arts and crafts as well as floral design.
Okay. Which other blogs? Val?
Fitness and nutrition.
Wonderful. Are you considering starting one?
Of course.
Okay. Does anybody else visit blogs? Yes, ma'am.
I have a friend that blogs. She's going through recovery from breast cancer.
Okay.
She blogs about her experience. And I visit that. Her blog.
How often does she blog?
Probably about once a week.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you see, blogging is the expressive, topics of blogging, blogging topics range from personal to business. Does anybody visit Huffington Post?
Yeah.
So Huffington Post is a blog. If you go to the Tribune, any of the newspaper sites, most of them use blogging software, although they look different, but they pretty much use blogging software. Then you have just people just like any and everything, which is just not cool. But you have various topics, which means you don't have to limit yourself. So if you do have a blog for speaking, like the site Bill visits, he talks about speaking, but you just don't have to have a blog about speaking. You can present yourself, your topics, and a lot of times what you do to grow in your profession, if it's towards your speaking career. Now, the original what a blog really is, even though we have our definition here, it's a website where people express opinions. What a blog really is an online journal in its simplest form, because people make it so complex. But you can build a community on its site because you can leave comments, you can invite guest bloggers or guest contributors to contribute their thoughts in their articles. But when you think of blogging, do you just think of written content? Do you feel like you just have to write for your blog? So what comes to mind when you think of blogging? Most times you read information. So what What's the,
Well, I'm really just something in water, but I think about communication, I can communicate with people, and it's also, knowledge is being gained there. So when I talked to my friend that's a journalist,
okay.
and she's been trying to get me to blog, but she reaches out all over the world
Okay.
with her writing and so forth. So I would say communication and knowledge.
But most of it is in writing, right?
Yes.
Well, blogs, a lot of people get intimidated thinking, oh, I have to write, I can't write, I don't have time to write. Well, blogs can come in audio blogs. You have you guys heard of podcasting?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an audio blog. A lot of people are doing video blogs. And you find a lot of people that, even the people that do goofy stuff on YouTube, you can create a YouTube channel, but I would still encourage you to create a site that's all your own. Because if Google decides to snatch off your YouTube or just cut it off, you won't have your space. Which is why I said that's the main reason why you should own a blog. And I know I'm jumping ahead, but that's for me, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I have my Facebook page. Well, if Facebook says, I'm cutting you off, where are your people supposed to go? And a lot of people are divorcing Facebook, so you still need a space for people to find you that you own. Now let's discuss the difference between the blog and the website. What do you guys think the differences are?
One's blue, one's gray.
That's a cool image, isn't it? Yes, Ash.
The blog is more active, the website is more static.
That's-
So that,
That's true.
that's okay.
Okay, so I do have an image here, and hopefully you can see it just a little. At the top, you have Web 1.0, which is what a regular website is. You have one person writing information onto a site, and then you have internet surfers reading that information. So it's pretty much one-way communication. Whereas with the blog, there's a lot that goes on with it. You have a webmaster, then you have internet, it says internet surfers, but you have people who can contribute to it. Then on the other side, you have the social network. So the information that you're uploading to your site doesn't just stay there. Now it goes out to your social networks, and they have tools where you can do it that where once you update, it automatically goes out. You don't have to just continue to make sure it's on Twitter, just make sure it's on whichever site that you're on. I love Twitter, so I'll be referring to Twitter a lot. I don't love Facebook so much, but you have when you upload it, it goes to your social sites, but then you see at the top, they have the RSS at the top, which is called Real Simple Syndication. Therefore, every time you upload the blog post, it may go someplace outside of your social networks. That's happened to me before. People are responding like, oh, I like this, but I don't know how they found it. Which is nice, but I had to find out where they were finding the information. So therefore, that's another good thing about blogs. Even though you're sharing information on your site, you have electronic sources and automated sources that will help you share the information. And then why own a blog? As I stated earlier, your blog is your home space that you own. I always think ownership. You can do what you want on the site when you want and however you want to do it. And your blog can be on the website that you already have, or if you don't have a blog and you're considering a blog, you can actually set up your blog site to also serve as a website, thereby saving a little money. And then until you start growing in your topic and what you're doing, that's when I would tell you to invest. But initially, there are free sites available to you. Go free, use it as a training source, and then grow to the next level. And as you see on this image, everything, you have the YouTube, the Twitter, Facebook, all of the social sites coming to your blog. That's exactly how you want information to flow. Even if you put something on your Facebook page, ideally you will put it on your blog first and then say, hey, check out my site, and direct people to your blog. And again, as I said, your blog can be on, you can add a blog to your current website or use it as a site. You use your blog site also as a website. Now let's discuss the pros and cons of blogging. And for my bloggers, what are some of the pros of blogging that you've experienced? Yes, ma'am.
People getting to know me personally, at least an aspect of my personality, therefore feeling like they're a little bit more connected to me. as opposed to meeting me in person. So I think that's the biggest part. So I get to personal brand myself.
And then what is your website?
The website, what is the name of it?
Yes.
livingloudmedia.com.
livingloudmedia.com. I'll be sure to visit that.
Please
That's
do.
One of the major benefits is people get to know you as a person. And another good thing about blogging is because you're online 24/7. You can actually you can choose to talk to people if you want to, but in person, that's one of the benefits. It takes the fear out of connecting with other people, which is a beautiful thing. And Cash, what were some of your?
One of the benefits I found for me is the creativity with the way the content can be placed. You just talked about it doesn't always have to be in writing. It can be in video. Right now, that's something that I'm starting to do a little bit more frequently. The engagement that Tammy was talking about is something that I'm striving toward next, but I really like, I can put text in as an article. I could put videos as a podcast or just a different way in which the content can be placed. That's what I found has been pro for me.
And another thing people are doing, and also consider if you do a lot of presentations and have slides, people are actually doing more with slides these days. And there's a site called SlideShare. Are you guys familiar with SlideShare? And it's owned by LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, well, they don't always promote it, but SlideShare is a site where you upload slides and share it. You can also post those on your site. And I see a lot of bloggers doing that more these days. Are you guys familiar with infographics? An infographic, have you seen on sites, well, the images where they'll use statistics in visual format, so they it might be a visual timeline, or they'll say, well, this year somebody earned this much money, and it might have their picture and just the amount. So they simplify, they make statistics visual, make it more pleasant to read. So you see that a lot. And there's a site, are you guys familiar with Fiverr? Okay, there's a site called Fiverr where you can get things done for $5. Generally it's $5, but you might have a custom request. But I've never paid more than $25 for something that I've done. You can get everything. You can pretty much get everything done on Fiverr.
Is that Fiverr?
Yes, Fiverr. Well, it's 2 R's.com. So it's Fiverr.com where you can get things done for $5. Now, if you're building, that's good starting out, but if you're building a brand, I would say start building a relationship with a marketing specialist that can help you grow a certain way, because I've used Fiverr for certain things, but when it came to my books, I use my same designer for my books. I have 2 designers for my books, so I use them, and they're local, and they're not $5. But when you get to a place where you're looking to brand yourself, you may be able to build a relationship with a designer on Fiverr, because they have tons of people on Fiverr, and as I said, they do everything. So start there if you want to get a little more creative. You don't have time, but have a few dollars, check out Fiverr. And let's go through some more of the pros and cons of blogging. The main thing a blog will do, if it's updated frequently, it's helped you get found online. So the more you update, and I would encourage, depending on your topic and your goals, I would actually encourage you to post at least once a week. However, if time doesn't permit, and you're just starting out, try to do it at least once a month to get a pattern going, and then start sending people to your site and say, hey, check me out. So that would be one of the main benefits on blogging. Then marketing and promotion. If you have, of course, you're marketing yourself as a specialist, but then if you have things, programs, workshops, your speaking gigs, and if you have a lot of speaking gigs, I would encourage you to add a calendar to your blog, and they have different options, but I would definitely encourage you to add that. And if you have books, a lot of people are writing books, creating products, that's a good perk to have. And then, because a lot of people have their books on Amazon, I have books on Amazon, but the bad thing about, the good thing about Amazon, you have tons of people who can find your book, but the bad thing is, you never know who bought the book, and therefore you can't create that. You can't create a mailing list to invite them to workshops and then to promote your new books to those people. So that's the bad thing about Amazon. And as Tammy said, the blog is helpful for relationships. People will find you, a lot of people typically find you by mistake. They'll be looking for something, you have, when not by mistake, they're not looking for you directly, but they may be looking for a topic that you wrote about, and then they may email you and say, hey, I'd like to partner with you on this. Another good thing about relationships, there are people who just read your blog just because they like you. And never discount those people, because you do need cheerleaders. You can't do everything on your own. And then also, if you have, with your speaker site, you have ideally you will have video clips and your topics on your site, and you would just send people to those particular pages. That way, even if you have a YouTube page, you want all traffic to lead to your site. So everything, if any clips you have, even if it's on YouTube, just make sure you post them on your site.
Madam Speaker, we've got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Do you want to go and start questions and answers soon, or do you have a couple more ideas you want to show on the slides?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
All right. Okay, another good thing about your site is you can create ideas like Cash said. You have, it helps with your creativity. So you'll be writing about something, might be something just a thought that day that could actually move into a workshop or a speaking topic as well. And another good thing is you can get feedback, and because as Tammy said, you already have those relationships, so you'll be getting feedback from people who actually care, which is with free feedback from people who care, which is valuable. Yeah. Of course, another goal is to generate revenue from product sales, and then speaking gigs and things like that. And the biggest con to blogging is time consuming. It is very, very, very time consuming. In addition to creating content, you also have to promote it, and promote it a lot. And if you don't have a team, you want those evangelists to help you, but if you don't have a team, you're pretty much doing it on your own. And that could be a little stressful depending on how much time you have to contribute to your site. So there's an action plan to get started. The first step is to have a website. How many of you speakers already have websites, speaking sites? Only 2 people? We need to change that if you're looking to grow your speaking. Well, if you're looking for a speaking business, some people just speak for fun. But if you have a speaking business, you should definitely, everybody should have a website. Then the second thing, I would encourage you to have a blog. Again, it doesn't always have to be written. You can have audio content, video. You can also have the PowerPoint presentations. Third step is you have to make the time to blog. Again, as I said, it is very time consuming. It's fun. I love it, but everyone doesn't have time to do it. Then the fourth thing you should do is consider the content you want to create for your site. But this is it could be stressful when you just start blogging, because you should have at least, obviously starting at least 30 weeks of ideas to blog about, or content ideas to create, because you don't really have to write it. And the last thing you should do is promote it. And most things will be done on social media. However, work that word of mouth marketing. And then the results of it, of all of those 5 actions, will be a speaker blog you can use to promote yourself, your your product and your services. And if you need help creating any of those things, feel free to contact me. This is my information. And let's look for the questions.
We've got 2 or 3 minutes for questions. Any questions for our speaker this morning?
Marcie, my name is Eddie Williams. What I would like to do when we have a break, I would like to get your information. I know you have it up on the board, but I am blind.
Okay.
And by that time, I have my device up to get your information.
No problem.
Okay, thank you, Marcie.
All right, thank you, David.
Do you have any business cards with you as well, Marcie?
I'm still in the process of building the brand of Marcie, but I can, actually, you guys can have this presentation if you post on your site.
Awesome.
Yes.
Is it usually a great cost to getting it started and maintaining a blog?
The biggest cost initially, there are 2 places I know you can start for free. And The biggest cost would be your time, and because that's the learning curve. But initially just started free, and that's Blogger and then WordPress.com. Those are 2 free sites. And then, so you do that, and then grow from there, because you need time to learn. I wouldn't even encourage anybody to invest at this time if you just started.
What was the first site?
Oh, it's called Blogger.com. And then the second one is WordPress.com.
And last question.
Marcie, you did a fabulous job with this information, because I'm in the middle of trying to brand my own self and my talents, and you just inspired me to just do it. So what I wanted to ask you, you came up with a couple of websites, one for slides, another for, I don't remember.
It was Fiverr.
I got Fiverr, but you said slideshow, is that slideshow.com?
No, Slideshare.com.
Slideshare.com.
And that's actually owned by LinkedIn.
Okay.
So a lot of things that you post on Slideshare will probably automatically go to LinkedIn. Or they ask you if you want to send it to LinkedIn because LinkedIn owns them.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for our speaker one more time.